2020, it's a new year, and we have got some big changes in the world of golf handicapping. So let's talk about the 6 biggest changes going on as a part of the new World Handicap System. So thank you so much for tuning in. Each week here on the Dr. Greta Golf channel, we provide videos that contain pro tips and tools to help emerging golfers like yourself improve your golf know-how. So thank you for tuning in. We so appreciate your viewership, and we never will take it for granted. Now, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for taking the time and choosing to watch here. If you would consider subscribing by hitting the button below, we'd so appreciate your support. In addition, if you would consider hitting the notification bell so that you never miss one of our videos, that would be great as well. So it's 2020, folks, and we are getting things in gear. We want the world to be playing golf. We want everyone to play golf. A big part of that and having fun with it and being able to play with people of all types and levels is the golf handicap. Now, statistics indicate that in the U.S., about 85% of golfers do not have a handicap. Crazy to me. We got to change that. Now tell me this in the comments below. Have you ever thought about getting a handicap and maintaining one? Okay, so as of January 1, 2020, the world's 2 largest governing bodies in golf, the United States Golf Association, the USGA, and the RNA, which governs Europe and other parts of the world, decided, or adopted, I should say, the World Handicap System. So now that's our new system. For US-based players, fear not, you're not going to experience too many changes. There are some changes, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. So you really won't notice too many differences in your handicap, but enough difference that we need to talk about. Moreover, the differences that you're going to see, I think that most of them are really positive. So let's talk about them. So let's get started on the 6 big things you need to know as we move into 2020 and using the World Handicap System. Number 1, it's easier than ever to establish a handicap. Back in the days before 2020, you used to have to post 5 18-hole rounds to establish your handicap. Now, 54 holes in total, your preference in the mix of 9 or 18-hole rounds. That is so much easier, and that means you can get off to playing golf with your handicap, much more quickly. Big thing number 2, the maximum handicap index has been increased, thus making it even easier for beginning golfers to get into the swing of things and establish a handicap. In the old days, the maximum cap for ladies was 40.4, and for men, I believe it was 36.4, something right in that neighborhood. Doesn't matter. For everyone, the difference is now 50.4. I believe that's the number. Actually, it's 54.0. I just checked. Much higher, much easier, so that everyone can obtain that handicap soon in their golf life. Big thing number 3, we've got real-time updates now. Those of you who have been playing golf for a while remember the old system. It was kind of like picking up a paycheck. On the 1st and the 15th, you got a new handicap, no matter how often you posted scores. And that was all fine and good, but we're in such a digital and immediate world that it seemed like an eternity before you would see the fruits of the rounds that you posted. So now with real-time updates, you posted on Tuesday, you're going to see it on Wednesday, and so your handicap will be much more reflective and accurate of how you're playing, which is a great thing. Big thing number 4, and in my opinion, this was a big one because this was a very confusing part of the handicap system for many golfers. Say goodbye to ESC, hello net double bogey. So that needs a little bit of explanation for some of you who may not be familiar with the old system. We had this component called ESC in the old system, and ESC stood for Equitable Stroke Control. Okay, even the name was long. What that really was, it was a sliding scale which determined how many strokes or the maximum number of strokes that you could score in the handicap system based on your current handicap system. So say, for example, a higher handicap player may have a ESC of 7 on a hole, where a more experienced lower handicap golfer may have had a 4. It wasn't confusing, but it definitely wasn't simple. The new system does away with all of that, and we have what simply is called net double bogey. That's a good thing. It simplifies it for everyone, and so it makes the damage, if you will, on those blow-up holes that we all experience from time to time less severe, and we can just move on with it. We know what it is, and we can move on and grow from it. So that's a big plus. Big thing number 5, fewer scores count toward our index. Again, this is a great thing because it makes the handicap more responsive. In the old system, 10 rounds counted toward your current index. In the new system, 8. So what that is that it's saying your most recent 8 rounds are going to comprise what your handicap is really built on at that moment versus 10. So if you're a golfer who doesn't get the chance to play, as much as you like or, that often, think about this. 10 rounds ago were counting for or against you. But the bottom line here is it made the index probably a little bit less accurate. And so we always want that to be accurate and more responsive, which makes it more user-friendly and beneficial to us as golfers. So again, another good change. Big thing number 6. So we've got these things called caps that will now be in place, and I'll explain those here. So unfortunately, it happens to all of us as golfers. We hit a skid, we hit a bad patch, whether it's the yips or, our swing plane is off, we've got, the slice hook is coming into play, whatever it is. Not our best golf. We're having a season where we're not playing as well as we desire. That's not the problem. It can adversely affect our handicap. So what the new system does is that it accounts for that. We have 2 types of caps. I'm going to talk about each of them. So cap type number 1, the soft cap. Let's just say you're having a bad season, and throughout this 12-month period, every score that you post is unfortunately higher than the previous one. If this is the case, remember this algorithm is quite sophisticated. It can see that these scores are quite an aberration based on your previous playing record, which is why it's important to keep adding to your posting record on a regular basis, because then the algorithm can help you and see what's going on. I digress. So let's just say that's the case. You're having a bad patch during this 12-month period. No problem. The World Handicap System sees that and it says, okay, well, given that this player's having a tough time, for these scores in this 12-month period, we will not increase that handicap by more than 3 strokes during this time frame. It won't decrease more than 50%. With the soft cap, if you begin posting scores that will increase it by 3 points within a 12-month time frame, further increases will happen at no more than a level of 50%. That making sense? So just know that the biggest issue here is this. Your handicap will not go haywire due to temporary change in situation, an injury, or something like that. So that's a good thing. So now if we're in an unfortunate situation and your scoring woes continue, this is when the hard cap comes in place. And then within a 12-month period, your index will not increase by more than 5 strokes during a 12-month span. So that hard cap, soft cap piece, it really is not something that you need to worry about. I know it seems confusing, but it's a real benefit, so just trust me on that. And there's always, if you want to know more information about it, I'm happy to share that with you. But just know that there's a safety net there in case you're kind of hitting a temporary patch. But for most beginning golfers who are just now establishing a handicap, no big deal. Now here's number 7. I know this is the big 6, but this is a big one. So those of you who have experience with a handicap and playing more leagues or tournaments, this one will be valuable to you. The new system, if you think about it and you analyze it, you'll notice it makes it much harder for some of our friends to sandbag during competitive play. And that is a plus, because as an instructor, here's what I know, and having watched a lot of golf and played a lot of golf and watching others play golf, there's few things that are more discouraging for emerging golfers who go out with honest and good intentions to compete at whatever level they're playing, to run into people who are out there just to steal the trophy, essentially, or whatever the case may be, steal the victory. So the new handicap system, the changes that have been put in place, they actually do a lot to make that extremely difficult. And so again, I think that's exciting, because that makes golf more fun, fair, equitable for everyone. And that's what it's all about. So as you can see, the new handicap system, that's the World Handicap System is the new name of it, is really doing some good things to add value, make golf more accessible and beginner friendly. And I think that's a great thing. If you have benefited from this or you learned something, please let us know, shout us out in the comment section below. We love to hear from you. We love to know about more of what you want to hear from us, because we're here to serve you. And we thank you for watching. So we'll see you in the next video.